When the pandemic first started, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty.
Our first case we admitted actually on Friday, March the 13th. Once the patients were admitted, it clearly became like an all hands on deck.
We're part of a very large training institution. There's a lot of young physicians, very capable, but have never seen such massive sick people, and they're really sick.
I have never, in the 25 years that I've practiced critical care, had people die every day.
We were in chaos. Bars and restaurants, it was imminent that they were going to have to start closing. We were talking about quarantines and everything else.
I had clients that were immediately moving into downsizing and furloughing and creating COVID practices and policies.
When we had to shut down the hotel, we had to lay off most of our staff. So it was quite traumatic for a lot of people.
So when the pandemic hit, the people that had no connection to the internet were more isolated than the rest of us.
We have neighborhoods where 40, 50, 60% of residents do not have their internet access in the home, and it really creates a divide as to what they can participate in today's world.
When we closed the schools and we shut down the libraries, that left people at a disadvantage. So they can do the things that our governor asked you to do: shelter in place, order online, fill out your unemployment benefits online.
And that's where I'm so proud of the Cleveland business community, because it really came together, and it was basically a citywide call of let's clean out our closets, right? And it generated thousands, about 8,000 computers were generated through GCP's call to action. The Cleveland, that all-in mentality, right? Everybody had each other's back, and that was, the silver lining maybe of COVID for me, right? To be able to see this beautiful part of humanity where everybody was really supporting each other.
So a lot of the small business community rallied around practices, techniques, equipment.
Somebody mentioned, on a blog somewhere about, you could make hand sanitizer, because obviously we all make alcohol. We were just starting to look into it, and I got a call from the Cleveland Clinic. They sent over a team of pharmacists to help us with some formulations. So we provided hand sanitizer for the 51,000 people at the Cleveland Clinic. We sent it out to police stations and fire stations and emergency medical services and nursing homes. Everybody was able to stay employed. Everybody was able to stay working, doing something, purposeful and important.
In times of hardships, people do come together to help each other, everyone working together for a higher purpose.
So I'm so excited that the Mandel and Myers Foundations have decided to make a philanthropic investment to connect the entire city of Cleveland to the internet.
They've put the foundation of what can be the answer to the question, how do we help people do better?
I was the first at Metro Health to get the vaccine.
It was kind of a breath of fresh air. You start seeing a light at the end of the tunnel.
One of the other things that was really, really energizing was just the love from the community.
Always gave me pleasure when I drive around and see these hero signs, put out in the front yards. Kids making chalk, thank you, we appreciate you, all that stuff.
Even those who perceived themselves to be competitors became collaborators.
I've got a file full of letters from police chiefs and fire chiefs saying thank you for what you did.
But I think the most inspiring stories are the patient stories. And the one that really sticks in my mind is this young man who was in the ICU for over 2 months on a ventilator. He was so sick. He also had to be resuscitated. His heart stopped, he stopped breathing. So for an hour, we had to work on him to resuscitate him and bring him back. And he walked out. He walked out of the ICU. And we had a tradition for these very sick people. We clap them out when they leave. So I almost cried when we were clapping him out because of just what he's been through and the courage that he's been through, and that we've been able to pull through and come out as a team. So that's, I think, to me, always reminds me of to never give up. No matter how sick a patient is, as long as they're willing to fight, we're willing to fight for them and with them.